Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today is going to be a special flight and dedicated to my father. And I hope everyone's having a great Father's Day. And I'm going to talk about the story about my dad, like how things went. I mean, what happened, and things like that. Because I lost my dad a long time ago, right when I turned 19. So yeah, I'm going to take a flight, and this flight I'm going to take is going to be around uh, an area that means something to me. Like it was where I grew up at. I grew up in Louisiana, born and raised there in Kenner, and I'm going to take off on the lakefront airport, and I'm going to do things like that. So yeah, and hopefully it'll be a good flight. You know. So okay, let me go ahead and get it started, and I'll be right back. And as you can see on the right here, I have Seagram's Escapes Bahama Mama, and it's should be pretty good. Natural pineapple and orange flavor. Actually, I've never tried this before, but not this kind anyway. But I'm gonna try it out. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get to the airport and get the flight started. Okay, here is the flight plan. And what it's going to do is I'm going to take off from New Orleans Lakefront Airport, and I'm going to fly over this way, and it's going to basically fly me straight down the lakefront. And I'm going to pass near West End and all of those places, and I'm going to continue flying, and I'll also pass by Treasure Chest Casino, and finally I'm gonna come up this way over near Lake Maurepas and Manchac and Ruddock and all of that. I used to do some kayaking out there a lot too. And finally I'll land here in the St. John Airfield. And I might do a part 2 to this. I would like to, because there is a few other places I'd like to show. Basically, it's kind of like going to be my little personal tour of some areas in Louisiana. Okay, so and I'm using a Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000 custom livery, but it's the default Cessna 172. All right, so also take a look at this. It's just I'm not going live players or live traffic, just AI owl players. And the time, the weather is going to be live, but the time is not. I'm going to change this time. I'm going to put it about let's do about, how about maybe 10, around 10. Yeah, okay, this will be good. 10 a.m. in June 18th. That'll work. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit fly, and see you at the airfield. Okay, welcome to the airfield, and welcome to Lakefront Airport. KNEW. Okay, here's the Cessna. Now, the reason why this airport is special for me is because I used to take flying lessons here long time ago with my flight instructor was my uncle, my dad's brother, and a 172 is what I used to do some training in. Now, I never did get my private pilot license, but I did rack up some hours. I was doing pretty good, but I had a job that was kind of really interfering with my flight training at the time. Sometimes I worked at 9, and it just made it really hard to continue. My uncle told me, he said, look, flying something you either do or you don't. You can't just do a little bit at a time, because you end up forgetting things, So, yeah, that was back when FSX was around, I believe. So yeah, I'm talking a good, over 20 years ago here, okay? So, Let's go ahead and get aboard the plane and get it started now. And let's see. First of all, I'm gonna turn battery as to avionics, and we'll turn our strobe on. I'm gonna turn the nav lights on, beacon, and everything. Not the taxi or landing though. Let me go here and there we go. There's the flight plan. And yeah, runway. I'm a little familiar with the airport. I mean, I took flying lessons here. Like I said, I know 18 left. There's the runway we used to take off at quite a bit, but there's other runways. That's not the only one. You know, you got several. So let me go ahead and mixture rich. All right, throttles on idle, park and brake is set. All right, so fuel pump, cut that on. All right, and yeah, we should be cleared. No one's in front of the prop, so let's go ahead and get it started now. Fuel valve selector. Okay, that looks good. On. All right, just want to check that. All right, this should be good. Okay, we started. Now let's get ATC up here.
Lakefront Airport information, Oscar 1500 Zulu. Wind 221 at 8. Visibility 10.
So not too bad weather. Sky condition clear.
Temperature,
you know,
2.10.
winds at 8, so that's not bad.
Visual runway 18 left and ILS runway 18 right in use. Landing in
oh yeah, you see it's 18 left, 18 right, so that's good. All right, so
all aircraft read back, hold short instruction.
I'm not going to do IFR though, so I'm gonna, let's see, departing. We're going to be departing to the west.
Lakefront ground, Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 request taxi for west departure with Oscar.
Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 taxi to and hold short of runway 18 right via taxiway Echo Delta cross runway treat 6 right Bravo. Contact tower on 118.9 when ready.
All right.
Taxi to and hold short runway 18 right via taxiway Echo Delta cross runway tree 6 right Bravo Cessna 022.
Well, actually the bus is in the way, but we'll get around it. But yeah. So runway 18 right is going to be this way. Put the volume up a little bit. Looks quite busy, this airport. And of course, those vehicles in the way. See, 36 left is going to be up here. Oh man, that's a wide turn right there. we're going to taxi on down. And 18 right will be up here. I could also taxi on the taxiway over here, on side the tower right there. And we're going to go ahead and turn, and I'll show you. Oh no, actually, you know, I think that's 18 left. Yeah. 18 right's going to be this way. So much to show you here. See 18 right. So what it is, left is going to run right here to my right, and 18 right is on to my left, right there. And this is 18 left. I'm used to going down this taxiway up here because we used to do 18 left often. It just depends on which, you know, runway they were using at the time. And out this way, let's get a better look. Out that way is South Shore Harbor. And I used to have a boat out there at South Shore Harbor, a Hunter 33 sailboat that I bought in 2013. And we had some good times back then. Right after I bought it, I met my fiance out there, and we went out there, and you know, we used to really enjoy the boat, have a lot of fun on it. Okay, we at 18 right now. Probably should have called the tower. Let me go ahead and get the tower up here.
Lakefront Tower, Cessna.
Hopefully there's no planes coming in behind me since I went on the runway without calling. Huh? Supposed to stop right here, right here.
Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 altimeter 29.85 wind 221 at 8. West departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 18 right.
Cleared for takeoff runway 18
now,
right.
what I'm going to do,
Cessna
so I don't
022.
have to really answer too much, let's go ahead and have this on. Okay, and I'll set, you know, the autopilot. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get it on now. Let's just do it real quick. Normally I do this before I even get ready to take off, but I'm going to do it now real quick. Let's put at 2500 for the flight, and everything else will be good. Just about like that. Alright, that'll work. Let's go. Passing 60. Now rotate. Now if you see right over here on this side, these are covered slips for South Shore Harbor.
Cessna 022, continue for west departure.
All that is covered slips, and then the harbor is
Lakefront
back
Tower,
around
Cessna
here,
Golf Charlie
you know.
Tango 102 to continue for west departure.
Don't sink, don't sink, don't sink, don't sink.
Yeah, let's get some more altitude. We definitely won't be sinking now. Okay, let's go ahead and plug in the autopilot so we can GPS set. All right. But I'm going to put my heading on because I want to come out this way a little bit more. Let's do the heading a little bit because you're going to see why just a minute. This is Seabrook Marine. They work on a lot of boats and things like that out there. Like, you know, you have a boat and you need to get work done on it, that's a good place to go to. Put it a little bit lower so you all can hear me. Now this one I'm passing over right here, this is Pontchartrain Beach. All of this, you know, which is nothing there now, but you know, a couple of office buildings. But this used to be an amusement park. You know, it was Pontchartrain Beach. It's still Pontchartrain Beach, but it used to be called Pontchartrain Beach Amusement Park. And we used to go there when we were kids, and that was the funnest times. You know, my dad used to bring us out there, and we had a really good time. Me and my sister had a couple of stepbrothers. We used to go out there, and all of this is the New Orleans lakefront. Over here. You can see a little bit better in here, so you know, zoomed in a little more. Anyway, I mean, you can see a little bit more like a realistic view anyway from the airplane. So yeah, so all of this is the lakefront. And this is West End. All of this here. You know, all of this is West End. These are the Lake Marina Towers. Some restaurants all around here. And, really good seafood restaurant here. Southern Yacht Club right here. They do sailings. And these are like good boat houses kind of all around here.
Request clearance to transition Bravo airspace.
This used to really be a lot of things out here, nightclubs and restaurants and everything, until Katrina really just wrecked it, that whole area, and they never really rebuilt it much. Out here, this is Bucktown, all of this, and there's the Bucktown Marina right here. Causeway Bridge, on a little boat launch here. And as you can see, in Causeway Bridge here is kind of a little messed up right here, but the bridge goes all the way across. So look at that. I drove across that bridge many times in my life. It goes all the way to Mandeville.
New Orleans approach Cessna Golf Charlie
all the way
Tango
across.
102 to 2,200 feet.
Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 102 to New Orleans approach altimeter 29.85. Continue as planned.
And this is the Lakeside Shopping Center. It's the mall. A lot of this is all Causeway Boulevard, all through here. Down lower. I'm not going to tour the CBD of New Orleans. You can see over here the Superdome. I'm not going to tour that in this video. Maybe another time, but you can see it over there. I don't have any extra scenery installed, nothing. This is all default scenery. And you'll see we're going to be at New Orleans International Airport really soon. It's right up there. And You're gonna pass by the Treasure Chest Casino here, and right up near it there is the Poncha Training Center. They have, different shows and events, things like that. They host there. They used to have some gun shows in there. I guess they still do, but I haven't been out there in a long time. You're gonna pass, and you'll be able to see the treasure chest. That's the parking lot there. And there you can see New Orleans International Airport, KMSY. And I think it was in 1986. I just know back in the 80s, they had a really bad plane crash right on here. It took off on this runway here. It was Pan Am Flight 759. It was a 727. It was carrying over 100 people, 150 people, going to Las Vegas. And the weather was really bad that day, and I remember I was helping my dad work on a car we had back then. The weather was really bad, really bad. I remember we got off on Williams Boulevard. We drove across the interstate from Loyola down to Williams Boulevard, and we got off there which was right around here, I believe. And not long after we got back home, we tested the car after he was working on it. We heard about a plane crash. At first they said it was a Smile plane that crashed in Kenner, and after they said, oh, correction, it was a 727. My dad, he knew a Kenner police officer at the time, and he told us a lot of stories about that. It was just really bad. And you can look it up. Pan Am Flight 759. That was the biggest disaster ever in Kenner, Louisiana, to this date, as far as I understand. And you're coming up now here on, this is the spillway. You're going to see I-10 westbound going through here, and that goes into Laplace this way. And over here is a truck stop right when you get off exit 109. There's a truck stop, and there's another truck stop across the side. I've been to those truck stops many times in my life. When I was a driver and driving, I used to go through racing. I pulled intermodal, from the port of New Orleans down to Baton Rouge, and sometimes out to Lafayette, and Mobile, so mostly I stood like Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and you see all of these waterways. I used to do some kayaking out there, around here. And in fact, I still have some older videos on my channel that if you watch, you'll see it when I had some little kayaking trip out this way. This is like a little boat launch they had. It was really small boat launch here. So they're following the course pretty good here, right here now, and we'll be passing near Manchac and Lake Maurepas and that. And if you can see right here, you can see this is exit 109. You see it goes on down. And you can take this exit also to go to I-55 north. And if you go south when you get off of this exit, you'll go into Laplace. And then up into Reserve if you keep heading west from there. Yeah, you see, you can just, you can, zoom in a little more, but you just see kind of a lot more detail, what being inside. But as long as you got your course set with the Cessna, man, you just plug in all your little spots of interest, hit that autopilot, set your altitude, and just sit back and just watch, observe the flight, you know? And just watch all of the scenery and, you know, and not, you know, let your plane just keep flying along. But what I'm going to do, too, is I want to kind of go a little bit slower down. I've been a little bit too high throttle for a while there. Because you look, I like to keep the RPMs at about 2,300. Yeah, that's more like it. That's how it really should be. And up here, when we get to Manchac, there's a really good seafood restaurant that's been there for a very, very long time. It's right across the bridge on your right. Like, you can see it from I-55, you know, and it's called Middendorf's. And they have they're known for thin cut catfish, fried thin cut catfish, and it's really, really good. And it's been there for a long, long, long time. Let me look it up right now while the plane's flying on through. I'm gonna tell you how long it's been here. Middendorf's. I believe it says 88 years. That's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I believe it was 88 years. But it's been there for a really long time, and you'll be able to see it a little bit when I fly around near it, but it's going to be right here on the right. But yeah, if you're ever out in the area and you want some really good food, that's a good place to try out, because it's really, really good, you know. Put some more throttle in. I'm getting a little bit below that 2,300. I want to kind of stay at. I like to try to keep my speed right about 100, a little over. And out here, let's see, I think we're kind of coming up on it. There's a waterway, and I used to kayak there, and I think it was this one right here. Going up out that way, so we'll see it when we fly over. But I used to kayak and go from Ruddock. That's how Ruddock, and I'd launch from Ruddock, and I would take that waterway out to Lake Maurepas right here. And when you can see the map, Lake Maurepas is not even close to the size of Pontchartrain. Look at the difference. You know, so what is that, like about a fifth of the size, a fourth or something? But it's a lot smaller. But it seems big when when you're out there, especially out there in the kayak. It seems huge. I always kind of wanted to kayak all the way across Maurepas, but I've never done that. And I had a friend I knew years ago kayaked across Lake Pontchartrain, you know, and which that's a heck of a feat, and he pulled it off. And yeah, you see these waterways, like right here. You launch around this area, and you can go out that way. Also, there was a waterway that went here, and you really couldn't fit any big boats, but you can kayak down there. And alligators. This is Alligator City. Okay, there was alligators all over out here, you know. But from my experience kayaking around alligator-infested waters, I found alligators to be very passive. like not aggressive at all. Now I wouldn't, I'm saying I'm going to water when I see a lot of alligators around. But if you're in the kayak and you're just minding your own business, I went out there for the very purpose of filming alligators, to video alligators. So, and I always used to laugh at how I can get closer to birds compared to alligators. Alligators, as soon as they see me, they'd go. They'd go or go under or run off. It's like they were more scared of me than what birds were. Birds would just kind of stay right there until I get really close. But the alligators, I would have to. It got to the point where I used to use this other boat and I had to put a trolling motor on it, so it'd be really quiet and go really slow, because any kind of fast movement or any kind of noise, the alligators would see me and they would go. If I wanted to get any kind of video at all, so I'd have to get real far away and zoom in on them. And I would turn down some of these waterways right here, and I would see heads, alligator heads, all down the waterway, like just one after another, one after another. One time I did make a turn, and it was around here, I think somewhere. I say I was with my sister, kayaking around here, one of these waterways, and we turned and we seen all of those alligators. We were like, oh, I don't know about that. It's a little concerned because
Change approved Cessna 02.
yeah, there were a lot of alligators, a lot of them.
New
So
Orleans approach Cessna Golf Charlie
we
Tango
didn't want to
1022 is
push
type
our
Cessna
luck,
Skyhawk
so we
9
just
miles
kind of, I
south
think it
of
was this
Two Lima
waterway
Sierra,
right here.
2,500 feet.
And this is
Request
mid-north,
flight
right
following.
here.
Cessna Golf
Right
Charlie
there, and there is a little
Tango
dock you can
1022
kind of pull
Orleans
up.
approach. Squawk 1 tree
This is a
tree.
little bit kind of submerged, but this is a train bridge that
Squawk
goes through
1
here.
tree tree,
Yeah,
tree
right here.
Cessna 022.
It's a train bridge.
Cessna
You might be able to see it,
contact 8 miles
like the
south of
tracks or
Two
whatever
Lima
out here.
Sierra, 2,500 feet.
This is a small little port. It's called the Port of Manchac. Tiny, tiny little port. I really don't know what they do there, but it's a little port there. And below, you'll see here, there's some restaurant or some place right here that's fairly popular out here. And there's a lot of boats that kind of go around here and gather in that area.
125.5 Cessna
It's a
022.
launch. It's a boat launch right here.
New Orleans approach Cessna Golf Charlie Tango
Go on down through
102
there.
to 2,500 feet.
There's also like a little lighthouse. A little house, I think there's a lighthouse. I think it's around here somewhere. It's been a while since I've been out this way, especially kayaking. I used to like to launch and come right around from here too. Tons of launch right here. I would put in a boat right here, but it wasn't a boat launch. I just set it in there and kind of go around here and out more top. We might get a better look at that waterway that would come out of Ruddock that I mentioned. And you can see I-55 all on down. So right now we are on our last leg of this flight, and I would like to do some more flying. I might continue this in episode 2, where I'll take off from the St. John and fly on out to Grand Isle and all that, like Grand Isle, Port Fourchon, Venice. And maybe land at final landing, maybe Bay St. Louis, something like that. Yeah, you see the waterway right here? Out here in Ruddock, you're not gonna in Manchac and that. It is fun to if you like to see like wildlife and things like that. A lot of birds, alligators, and stuff. Then you can come out here, and there'll be a lot of it. But not a whole lot in the form of beaches right here, like it is out on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. But it's some nice areas, and they got a couple areas that have sandbars. There is a sandbar like out that way somewhere. A more popular location for boaters to go out there. Sometimes in the summer you'll see a lot of speedboats coming out of this area. Straight on down the bayou. See this here? And I think there's a really small, I think the really small one is right around here. So yeah, we're gonna be getting over, flying over like Laplace pretty soon. Right up there. I can't see it just yet. So anyway, a little bit more about my dad. He passed away in November of 1988. Right after I turned 19. And about a month before that, he brought me over to the Lakefront Airport. And there is when I flew with my uncle. He had a 152, a Cessna 152 at the time, and he took me up fly around. It was around my birthday. We took a little fly around there and came back and landed. Nice flight. And I've lost track of how many times I came out here to Mandeville. I mean, not Mandeville, Manchac, Ruddock with my dad. He used to love fishing. I'm not really a person who likes fishing. I don't fish, but I did a lot of sailing. My dad has never sailed before. And he did a lot of fishing. And he liked it. That's what he liked to do. And I came out here with him a whole lot. I used to take, rods out here all the time. It was only not very far from where we were at, maybe about a 30-minute drive if that. I used to a lot of times drive the boat and he would do his fishing. He used to trawl too. He used to do trawling. That was his thing, fishing. And so if any of you, still have father still alive or whatever, just make sure you take a minute to appreciate him, because there's people like me who hasn't had my dad in a long time, and I don't even know what it is like to really have a mom, because I lost my mom at 3 years old. So there's not many memories there I have about my mom. So when I lost my dad at 19, my dad was also like my best friend. So like me, my dad was my best friend. We hung out, we did a lot of things together, and like I said, my mom, she passed away when I was just 3 years old. So that made my dad my last parent when I lost my dad. So gone just too soon. So like I said, if you have any, if you have your dad still alive, just make sure you take your time to appreciate him, because it's rough, and I hope most of you do have your dad around, because mine was going just way too soon. There was a lot of things I wish I could have showed him or done with him, but especially sailing. Sailing was one of them. I think he would have loved that, but we wasn't able to do much. All right, I'm gonna start my descent now into St. John. Let's turn the heading on, because I'm gonna just kind of line up. I don't really need to keep this on, but I'm gonna go ahead and let's go a little bit steeper on the descent. Back off some. Get the approach set up here. But if you all want me to continue to this tour, just let me know, and I mean I can continue the tour. Okay, I think that's the airfield right there. I believe that's it right there. Yeah. So I can either land on this runway or I can just come back out this way, and it'd be a little more interesting if I go over the river and land right here. I think this is runway 17 right there. I believe that's 17. Pretty sure. I'm gonna go with 17. St. John the Baptist Parish, KAPS. Select runway 17. Yep, that's right.
Kilo Alpha Papa Sierra, traffic Cessna Golf Charlie Tango, 10222 miles north, 1,700 feet, inbound to land runway 17.
Okay, let's go ahead and disengage the autopilot and start getting it ready to land. And I'm going to try to keep it above, just right above 900 feet. I mean, it's a Cessna 172, so no problem to fly or land. Sort of line me up just perfectly. And we down below 900 now, but that's fine because the airport's right here. I probably won't even need flaps, but I might. We'll see how it goes. And what you see here is the I-10. I'm gonna drop one notch of flaps in, just one.
Kilo Alpha Papa Sierra, traffic Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 is on final runway 17 to land.
Don't want to get below 60 because you know what's gonna happen if I do. So. Right on in. Not too difficult at all. We just let it glide on down. Alright, we are on the ground now. And can taxi the parking right over here. Alright, now let me go ahead and let them know I cleared the runway.
Kilo Alpha Papa Sierra, traffic Cessna Golf Charlie Tango 1022 is clear of the runway.
It looks really busy, man. I don't really have anywhere to park here, huh? At least not on this side. I'm going to have to come around this way here. That's a really busy little airport. I can go right in the middle of these two guys right here, maybe. Yeah, this will work. Alright, so we get the plane shut down. And I may or may not continue, but I would like to do a part 2 of this. Maybe not now, maybe another time. But if I do, I'll start out right here, right where I'm at here. St. John Airfield. Alright, let's cut the battery off. And well, we'll go ahead and kill the engine. Parking brake is on. Mixture on cut. Fuel valve off. And it should come up with the summary now. And as soon as I turn up the rest of the battery in that. Alright. Total time of fight, 28 minutes and 35 seconds. Okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed this flight, and thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Father's Day, and you should try to spend it with your father, if you have a father that's still around. And if there is a part 2, I'll post it up probably not long after. If there isn't, maybe not. And please give me a like if you like the video, subscribe, and comment. And until next time, bye for now.